Grim Dawn user interface useful tips. Number 1. Auto looting of materials. This means things like components. So if you get a component drop, which I haven't, I'll just keep going until I get a component drop. What we want is a stump or something like that. Right, there you go. Okay. So there's some scavenged plating. It's a component that's dropped, and I'm not picking it up. To pick that up, I need to go over to it and click on it. However, if you go into Options menu, Auto Loot Materials is off by default, so that new players can see this stuff on the ground and pick it up, and not have it automatically zip into their inventory without them realising. And then later on they go and look in the inventory and think, what's that stuff? Where did that come from? So turn it on. Auto Loot Materials, that's all you need to do. And then when you walk up to this, I will just walk past it. Boom, I automatically picked it up without clicking on it, which is a wonderful thing. This boss might drop some. Yeah, kitty kitty. There you go, right, so he's dropped a bunch of stuff. Searing embers, polished things. Let's just kill these muppets. Right. So I walk past that, it's going to pick all that stuff up. There you go. Doesn't pick this up because these aren't materials. So just a quick reminder, auto loot materials, turn it on. Quality of life improved several percent. Grim Dawn user interface tips and tricks. Number 2. A simple way to see how your skill damage changes when you swap gear around. I've got a skill called Calador's Tempest. I can see that it uses a specific amount of energy, has a radius of effect, does 18% main hand damage, 45 to 72 fire, 30 to 42 ether damage. Right. I've got something here that I think is going to improve that, so I swap it with my shield. I go back down here. Oh yeah, that looks different, but I'm not entirely sure. Oh, right. See, great. So that's wonderful. It shows you it's changed, but not particularly brilliantly. If you want a quick way of doing this, particularly if you're at a shop, because if you're at a shop, here's a shop.
I'll give you a good price for what I've got left.
Right. So if we look in here, for stuff that does ether damage, let's look for shields and whatsoever. There's a book. Damn it, I can't. Hang on a minute. Okay. Alright. That does plus 10% ether damage. Right, now, while you're at a shop, if you buy that and hover over it, sell back value 1733 original purchase cost. So you can take things out and try them out. It's like a fitting room in you know, well, maybe they don't have fitting rooms anymore. I mean, who knows what we've got at the moment. Anyone who can remember what fitting rooms were, yeah, pretend this is one. That does plus 10% ether damage. So you think, oh wow, that might improve Calador's. So you put it on, and you go down and you think, oh, I can't remember what the numbers were before. So you've got an option here. You get a notepad out and start writing stuff. No, don't. Okay? Don't get a notepad out and start writing stuff down. You don't need to do that. What you do is you temporarily swap. You can actually put Calador's on button 1. So that was weapon attack. So temporarily put Calador's on button 1. And then on your tab 2 up here, it shows up and you can hover over it and you can see exactly what's going on. Physical 10 to 26, fire 45 to 72, vitality damage, ether damage. Now, that is actually showing you what it does, whereas this is showing you 18% main hand damage. This actually breaks it down, because if you look at that, that does physical and vitality damage. You can see that 18 to 47 physical, 15 vitality does that damage. Any flat damage that weapon does, Calador's is going to pick up 18% main hand damage. Right, so you've got a number there and you've got a breakdown 100 to 162. So you take that and put that on and you can see that number change. 103 to 165, 101, 100 to 162. So swapping that around, you can see that's going up. Force wave is also going up a little tiny bit. And actually weapon damage is going down. Weapon damage goes down. Calidor's is going up. Reason for that is, if you look at what that armour you took off, that does plus 12% physical damage. So that's buffing the 18 to 47 that Grundle plus Tail is doing. Plus 12% physical damage. And that's doing plus 10% ether and plus 3% spirit. Spirit is also buffing Calidor's because it's buffing the fire part of it and the ether part of it and the vitality part of it. So the short description of what I've done there is, if I temporarily stuck Calidor's onto, you can put it on that one as well. You can put it on one or two, left or right, whatever. Put it on there, you can see it on tab 2. And you can get your things, switch them around and see does it make it any better. And if it doesn't make it massively better and you don't want to waste the money, stick that back in the shop. You didn't waste any money because you sold it back for whatever you bought it for, so you get your cash back. And you can do that over and over. See that figure doesn't change, it stays the same. Well, yeah, obviously it goes down when I take the thing out because I've spent it, but then I get the money back, exactly the same amount. So yeah, so the top tip, stick something in mouse button 1 or 2 and you'll see it changing in real time on tab 2 when you swap things around. Like if you take something off and put it back on, you can see the figures changing. You might not know why they're changing, but you can see them changing. Anything you swap around, you can see those numbers change. And when you're fed up with it, just reset that back to whatever, because you didn't take it out of there. I mean, you can have Calidor's on like as many buttons as you want. The game doesn't care. So you're not losing it from that button when you put it over here. But you're getting the benefit of temporarily seeing it there while you're in the shop. Just remember to fix it back to what it was before you go running around again. Or you might put yourself at a bit of a disadvantage if that was something decent and you no longer had it ready when you went out to fight.
Put it to good use.
Grim Dawn user interface, tips and tricks, number 3. While we're at the shop, now I did cover this in at least one other video, but I'll do it again because it's handy to know. The shops and your stash, not your inventory, which is really annoying, have a search bar. It'd be great if the inventory had a search bar, but it hasn't got one. Shop's got a search bar. Now, if you want to do a particular thing, like if you want to look for a particular damage type, say, I don't know, physical damage, you type physical damage in there, and what it does is it greys out. Right, they all do physical damage, that's amazing. It greys out the stuff that doesn't do physical damage, but anything that's got physical damage anywhere in the tooltip, it will highlight it, or rather it won't hide it away. You've got to be careful though, because it could say something on it like converts X% of physical damage to some other damage. So it might not be exactly what you want, because really you're just doing a text search. You're not doing, there's no context behind it, there's just text. Plus 7% cunning, so you could put in a percentage symbol, space cunning. That wasn't a percentage symbol, John. Much better. Right. Percentage cunning. So this is going to show you stuff that has the text string percentage cunning. And generally it's going to be a buff to cunning, which is nice. Now you can look for stuff that is in a particular level range, just about. So if you look at some of this stuff, required player level 20, you haven't got to type all that in. And typing the number in isn't really going to work. So if you put 20 in, see that says required player level 16. It's picked the 20 up from somewhere else. It's picked the 20 up from required spirit 206. It's picked the 20 up from that. So you can't just put the number in. What you've got to do, it's not case sensitive, LEVEL colon space, because that's the format of the text. Level 20. So that's level 20, that's level 20, and that's level 20. Now I'm level 24. So if I put level 2, I'll see level 21, 21, 21, 20, 21, 21, right, cool. So if there's like a 26 in there, it would show that as well, but I could see it and think, yeah, ignore that. So that works. Level 1, everything that's like level 1 up to level 19, that's all showing up. And you're going to think, well, what's going on here? Some items are so low level they don't have a level requirement. They're like level zeros. So if you put level colon nothing, you can see the stuff that hasn't got a level requirement. That's handy when you start. Maybe you're running around at level 2 or something. There's no level 2 gear. It just goes like from 1 to the next one up to level 5 maybe. So you put level colon nothing and it will get that. And you can kind of use this. Remember from tip 2, if you buy or sell stuff here, like if I was to sell this to the guy, it says on there to buy it back, cost is the same as the original sale value. So I can buy it back. But what you can also do is sell everything if you want, and then you can do a search, say ether damage. So although you're unable to search your own inventory, you can dump everything in here and search for stuff. If you've been running around picking loads of stuff up and you've filled up 5 inventory bags, or if you try and dump all 5 in here, it will start replacing things, so you've got to be careful you don't fill this up. But you can then do a search and then only take back the stuff you want. Think, oh yeah, I want that, oh I want that, then just walk away and you've sold the rest. I don't want to do that. Who knows what I might need this stuff for, so I just grab it all back. My amount hasn't changed, it's still the same amount because I've sold it and bought it back for the same amount. I've temporarily used this area to exploit the search facility without losing any money. I mean, you can do the same thing. With no risk of accidentally selling stuff. Here, in your own stash. This is your own stash, that's shared, that's your own. So you can dump all that stuff. Do the same thing. There you go. I've only got one thing that does vitality damage, Puskbull's tail. But if you're out, you know, running around, you get to somewhere where there's a shop and it's like you can't be bothered running to where the stash is, you can do that thing, use the shop search facility. For now I'll just leave all that stuff in there, which was a good tactic. And as for the components, dump them in shared stash with that button there. Move components from the inventory to the currently open stash page. That's probably tip 4. Grim Dawn user interface, tips and tricks. Number 4. It's a very quick one. You get the map up. You look at that and you think, yeah, I can see some stuff. Now say that you'd heard that there was a spirit guide in Devil's Crossing, but you've forgotten where they were. If you click on this, the one on the map flashes to draw your attention to where it is. See? She's up there. Because otherwise that just looks like a bit of wall and you might not see it. I mean, it's fine if you hover over it, it tells you, but say, you know, you have to know it was there to hover over it. You click on that and it flashes. Shopkeepers. Oh look, there's 2. Shrines. None that I can see. Illusionist. Oh, there's 1. Riftgate. There he is. So yeah. The legend on the map is clickable. You can click on stuff. Maybe you've forgotten where you are. You click on this and it will show you. That's that one done. Grim Dawn user interface tips and tricks number, what are we up to? 5. What I'll do is temporarily make the user interface bigger so it's more obvious what I'm talking about. Interface. It's not on there. It's on video. UI scale. So you can make it huge. There you go, look. You might want to do that. This, what you can do with these skill buttons, this is where you assign your skills, whatever you want. Now if you notice mine go 1, 2, 3, QWE. It's because I find that putting certain types of skills on QW and E, heals, whatever, I haven't got one, have I? Yeah, overguard. So overguard's a heal skill, just about. It's a defensive skill. So I might want that on Q. And I might want to put my attacks on 1, 2 and 3. I don't know, not Force Wave. So I've got 2. So I've got Blitz and Calador's Tempest. So they're under my fingers while I'm playing on 1 and 2. And I know that if I tap down onto Q, I'll put Overguard up. So I've set 1, 2 and 3 QWE. The default for those is obviously 4, 5 and 6. I've left 7 and 8 alone. I rarely have that many skills unless it's a pet build, and then I'll be like on the other rack of skill keys. You've got 2 sets. Now how you do this, let's shrink that down just for now, back to where it was. If you go into key binding, and this is a PC thing, I doubt if this is the same on Xbox. You're probably going to have an option to change what, you know, what buttons things are bound to, but on the PC it's a heck of a lot more complex. You've got them all down here. Quick slot, that's what it calls them. Quick bar slot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down to 10. And all you do to change them is click on that, press the key to bind to quick slot bar 1. So you press a key and it will tell you. So if I press Q, it will say the function quick slot 4 has already been mapped to Q. Do you wish to overwrite? So it tells you what you've done. It says, look, you've used Q, you've stuck it on quick slot bar 4. No, I don't want to. But that's how you change them. Now I'm not saying you have to go and change yours to be this. This is what suits me, and it took me a while of fiddling around and playing a lot to know that I wanted 1, 2 and 3 and QWE set up like that. You might want something totally different. You might not want to use that at all. You might not want to change it. You might be perfectly happy with the numbers, but you can change it if you want to. It's a quality of life thing. It's for personal choice. Do you want to do it? Yeah. You don't want to do it? Fine. I'm just telling you it's there. Do with it what you will or not. And that's that tip sorted.